What's new? One final push. The presidential candidates canvass the country, including a surprise stop here in Cleveland. We'll hear some of their closing arguments.
In our continuing series, A New You, we focus today on the easy to fall into trap of overeating. We have some tips to help you push away before overindulging. And today is Money Monday. We help to point you in the right direction on what to buy now and what to hold off on in this month of November to make your dollars go a little further.
And if you're suffering from voter anxiety, What's New has you covered. Monica Robbins answers 3 burning questions about tomorrow's election day. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio. I hope you had a terrific weekend. We have a huge week ahead of us now. Tomorrow, of course, is Election Day. Thank you so much for choosing What's New alongside Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. I had a great weekend, Betsy, and then the Browns game happened, and that took care of that.
I had a great weekend because grapple became a nationally used term. It was excellent yesterday. Yes. The Browns may not have won, but the nerds definitely won. Now the sportscasters know what grapple is.
I would much rather the Browns won, but
I know.
There you go. Okay, for those that haven't already voted early or absentee, tomorrow's it. That's your last chance to cast a vote in the 2020 presidential election. If you're inclined to rely on polls, NBC News and the Wall Street Journal have released their final presidential poll before the election. Nationally, it shows Joe Biden leading President Donald Trump 52 to 42%. 2 weeks ago, that NBC poll had things even wider. Biden then had an 11-point advantage.
But as we know, it really comes down to winning key swing states, and Ohio could be one of them. The website, Real Clear Politics, takes all the polls together and boils them down to averages. Here in Ohio, our polling average as of this afternoon shows President Trump leading a very tight 1.2 points ahead of Joe Biden. So it's 47.4 to 46.2%. With Ohio so close, former Vice President Biden added a surprise stop to Cleveland today. And Romney Smith joins us live with the takeaways from this afternoon's visits all across Ohio. Hi, Romney.
Hey there, Betsy. The big takeaway from this afternoon's visit from former Vice President Biden was that if you haven't made time to vote early, he wants you to go vote tomorrow. Now, outside of that rally at Burke Airport, of course, there are plenty of supporters of President Trump who waved flags, chanted, and those in vehicles honked horns in support. However, on the inside of the rally, in an airport hangar, it was a sea of blue supporting Joe Biden. In part of his remarks, he focused on jobs, mentioning how Ohio was hit pretty hard when it came to factory jobs, like the Lordstown GM plant.
That after President Obama and I bet on American workers and helped rescue the auto industry, nearly 500,000 jobs created here in Ohio. Meanwhile, 330,000 of those have been lost since Trump's become president.
He also touched on military support and things he would do in terms of how to get control of COVID and more to the dozens of people who drove into that rally. Again, the big takeaway from today's rally is if you did not have time in Ohio to vote early and you are registered of age and just haven't done it yet, he wants you to go to the polls tomorrow when they open to cast your ballot. And of course, if you are so inclined to support him, he would like your support because he says it's possible to flip Ohio from red back to blue.
Well, Romney, it harkens back to the old days when we saw on the whiteboard, Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. So hopefully lots of folks are getting out, making plans to get their votes done tomorrow. Thanks so much, Romney.
Sure thing.
Betsy, meantime, President Trump had another very busy day. He is putting on a late full-court press with 5 rallies yesterday and 5 more slated for today. That included a stop in North Carolina, a state he won in 2016 and is counting on in order to get that second term. The president looking for a surge of support to win some key battleground states. He underscored today how important it is to get out and vote.
It is going to be the most important election, in my opinion, in the history of our country. I never thought I was going to say it. If you would have told me I was going to say that 4 years ago, I would have said, you're crazy.
After North Carolina, the president's itinerary includes stops in Pennsylvania, a huge battleground state, as well as Wisconsin. He'll also have a pair of stops in Michigan. Coming up at 5:30, if you've got questions as we approach Election Day, Monica Robbins is going to join us. She'll be with us live to answer 3 burning questions about that last-minute voting. Betsy?
Well, the countdown to Election Day is almost over, but the numbers as far as coronavirus continue to go up. We begin your feed at 5 today with the state reporting another 2,909 new cases. That is down from just over 3,300 reported yesterday, but still above the 21-day average.
Betsy, our other data points all going in the wrong direction. Our daily positivity rate now over 7%, and hospitalizations, that's a key number, continue to climb. There are 137 more COVID-19 patients in Ohio hospitals today than we had yesterday. That number currently stands at 1,822. And deaths were also up 35, an increase of 35 from yesterday. Today's number, 37 COVID-19 reported deaths.
Well, all that news comes as a new CDC report confirms what many of us feared, that a positive coronavirus test in your house means it could spread quickly among family members. A study followed more than 100 households that began with just one confirmed COVID-19 case, and more than half of the people living with the patient went on to test positive. And it came on quickly, within 5 days of the original patient's first symptoms. Definitely something a lot of folks are keeping a close eye on. There's just like a whole bunch of different stories that we're kind of juggling today. And of course, our pally Russ Mitchell is manning the big desk over yonder. And Russ, I have to just kind of throw out there, everybody's kind of focused on the election right now. It's this fast and furious lead up to tomorrow.
What a crazy day, to say the least, certainly. Good afternoon, Betsy and Jay.
Russ, good to see you.
And good afternoon to you as well. The FBI now investigating an incident between a Biden-Harris campaign bus and a caravan of Trump supporters. Vehicles swarmed around the bus on a highway between Austin and San Antonio, Texas. One car clipped a pickup truck as it tried to change lanes. President Trump said today, quote, "In my opinion, these patriots did nothing wrong," end quote. Neither Biden nor Harris was on board the bus. Today is the first day small businesses can apply for money from the state's new Small Business Relief Grant. Businesses with fewer than 25 employees who are approved can use that funding for things like mortgage and rent payments, utility bills, and paying staff. The grant money is being given out on a first-come, first-served basis. And the Cleveland Browns are playing it safe, holding their football meetings remotely today after announcing that a player is experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. But there have been no positive results among the players, coaches, or staff. And once again, Jay, as we said, they're just playing it safe at this point.
Well, at this point, that's the way to play it, because
Definitely.
you certainly want to caution, to err on the side of caution. Russ, thanks. We'll see you in less than an hour for What Matters Most coming up at 6 o'clock. Well, sticking with the Browns, no victory Monday for the Browns today, but there is some good news to report. NFL Defensive Player of the Year candidate Myles Garrett, who played sparingly in that loss yesterday to the Raiders due to knee injuries, was cleared of any structural damage with an MRI today, so that is great news. He now has the bye week to rest up and try to get healthy. Yesterday's loss was just flat uninspiring. Offensively and defensively, the team looked like they wanted to be anywhere but where they were. Nothing worked. They made too many mistakes, and losing to the Raiders could play big into the playoff chase later, as both teams have 3 losses now, and the Raiders would own that all-important head-to-head tiebreak advantage. Betsy, the game plan was really a strange one, because I'll break this down very simply. The Browns have one of the best running games in the NFL. They have one of the league's lowest rated passing games. It was, you know the conditions, 35-mile-an-hour winds, at times gusting up to 40. They ran the ball 22 times, but threw it 25 times. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't get it. They're playing without their best wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr., best tight end, Austin Hooper, best running back, Nick Chubb, out, one of their best offensive linemen, and Myles Garrett, I mentioned, hurt much of the game, and they still had a chance to win. I just think it came down to calling the wrong plays. I don't understand why they tried to throw it so much.
But how about that weather, Jay? I mean, come on. That was great. That was such a good part of the game. I mean, it was throwing the balls around a little bit. The first kick that the Raiders put up, doink, right off the side of the upright there. That was beautiful. You could literally see the wind carry it. And, of course, as I mentioned before, grapple became a nationally used word. I'm happy. I'm sad about the Browns.
Is grapple a German word?
Grapple?
Yeah.
I believe that probably could be correct.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right. Well, nonetheless, yeah, they couldn't stop saying it once they learned about it yesterday.
I know, that got a little overused.
When I watch football, I want to see the elements are fine if it's December, but when you're, the first day of November and you're having games on the lakefront, that was totally affected by the weather. That's what playing football in Cleveland is all about. I was just stunned that the Raiders from Las Vegas figured out what to do, and the Browns were trying to throw it in those crazy conditions.
As well, yeah.
All right. Next on What's New, our continuing series, The New You. And today we're focusing on overeating. It's been a real problem in the pandemic. Jason Fraser has some tips to help us know when to stop.
And advice from the Queen. Beyonce shares how these crazy times have impacted how she parents.
And speaking of weather, Matt Wintz, what's coming up in the forecast?
Hey Jay, is it safe to come out now? Boy, yesterday was crazy. November 1st came in like November 1st, but I'll tell you what, things are going to start to calm down here over the next couple days. In fact, we've got a beautiful warm-up to talk about and nothing but good news in the forecast. We'll detail it coming up.
Yes, sir.
Well, last week, we kicked off our new series, The New You, which is all about finding ways to live a healthier life. And our 3 News meteorologists, Jason Fraser, and viewers, Kim and Katie, have officially started their program with the Cleveland Clinic's Wellness Center. And we're sharing all the lessons that they're picking up along the way. And this week is all about easy strategies to avoid overeating.
If you think about some of the best memories you've had with family, friends, or your spouse, it likely involved food.
I had a grandmother who loved to bake, and grandma was kind of stoic, but when you saw her, she would be giving you food and goodies, and that was her way to show love.
The first week of our program was about those connections to food, and holistic psychotherapist Tricia Miller says our view of it has a lot to do with our childhood. She says snacks can bring you joy. And as a child, one of the things I thoroughly enjoyed was snacking on those animal crackers. And during the pandemic, I admit, I've been doing a lot of snacking. and I'm pretty sure you have too. One of the things I've been snacking on a lot is ice cream. Why? Because ice cream gives me a lot of joy. If you find yourself reaching for that extra cookie, registered dietitian Kristen Kirkpatrick says ask yourself, are you really hungry or just bored?
You got to think of your body right now as a car, right? And we would never sit there at the gas station and once like the thing clicks, like I'm going to put a little bit more in, right? Like we would never, there's no more space. So you have to think about how much space you have in terms of your cells sucking up the nutrients and the glucose and everything else. Once you go over the space, that's where weight gain occurs.
The Cleveland Clinic's Wellness Center encourages their patients to think about where they're at on the hunger number scale. 0 means you're hangry. 10 means you're stuffed. And we all took a moment to assess our own hunger levels for the first time.
Jason, you haven't eaten all day. I'm guessing you're at a 0.
Oh, I'm at a -3.
We don't want you to get to a -3. Okay, how about you, Kim? What number would you put on it?
5.
A 5. Okay, you're good. Katie, how about you?
I would say a 5 because I ate at a reasonable hour this morning.
Great, you're good, right? So start before you eat. Check in, what's my hunger level? If it's not at a 2 or a 3, then you really don't need to eat. And if you're craving something, let that craving pass.
Another way to stop overeating is to consider the size of the plate you're using. Most of us, including myself, have always used the bigger dinner plate, but Miller says you should try to use the smaller plate that's in your cupboard.
I use this, I'm putting a lot of food on there, right? I might want to fill it up. But if I'm using a smaller, this salad-sized plate, I don't find the need to unconsciously fill up the plate.
When patients come to me and say, tell me what the best diet out there is, my answer is always the best diet out there is the one you'll stay on long term.
And that is, of course, so true. Now, doctors also recommend keeping a food diary of not only the foods that you ate, but also the times. It will, of course, keep you very honest. And one of the other things you're going to notice here are certain patterns. Maybe you do like eating ice cream on Friday and Saturday nights. And Betsy, maybe you might want to think about changing that in order to get healthy and become a new you in 2020.
Man, it's a lot about decisions, right? And it's going to be worth it in the end. That's the hardest thing. You've got to remember that it's going to be worth it. All right, so this is very interesting.
Exactly.
Overeating is a hard topic to tackle. What are we tackling next week?
So next week, we will be learning about some healthy swaps that you can make on the grocery store list as well as in your kitchen. Hence the reason why I'm standing in my kitchen, of course.
Yeah, of course. All right, Jason. Thank you so much. We look forward to next week's report, too.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to change it up now and get another member of the weather team in here. Matt Wintz manning the forecast for us today.
Yeah, I certainly am, Betsy. Back to you.
It was a lot easier last week, and then tomorrow it's going to be way easier. So I can pick it up for you tomorrow if you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, this is going to be very easy forecast for us. And again, it's not just this week. It's really as we go forward over the next 7 to 10 days, as you'll see on our website. Do you guys have a word of the day? I guess that's what I'm waiting for.
Yep.
Sorry for the stalling here.
Nope, I got it for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
The weather word today is flat, as in, man, the Browns were flat yesterday. I'm sure you can work that into weather.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll work that into weather for sure, Jay. Absolutely. And, coming up the next half hour, I heard the best dad joke today. I got to share it with you guys. I know it's not in the script or anything like that, but we'll share that with you coming up. All right, let's talk. I'm sure the audience will fall flat after that, too. Let's talk about the wind that continues outside. It was certainly colder today. Over the last 2 days, we've had this real blast of November-like air in here. We had about a ½ inch in spots, just a dusting and others of snow this morning. Some of the higher totals coming out of actually Portage County, County and down towards the Youngstown area and Trumbull County, believe it or not, kind of away from our snow belt there. But the winds continue to howl. You can see some of the gusts in yellow there, especially near the lakeshore. There's a wind advisory out for lakeshore areas of Ashtabula and then all of Lake County that goes through 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't have a lot of friction out over the open water, so that's why those winds are strongest there. And we've had a couple blips here on radar out towards Ashtabula County. A lot of that's not reaching the ground. Could have some little grapple pellets or perhaps some rain-snow mix out there. But that's all part of a bigger weather system that's going to slide to our north and the east. This is another Clipper system. This is going to head towards New England, bring them in accumulating snow tonight. But for us, it's kicking up some of these clouds that are moving through, and it's also going to kick up the wind. But look at the weather pattern. This just tells a tale of what's going to happen this week. The cold air has been very brief. We've already got warmer conditions off towards the west. So while temperatures now are in the upper 30s to near 40 out east, we're in the mid 40s out towards the west. As you expand the view, we've got 60s and 70s all the way up to the Canadian border. This is going to be a large-scale pattern change that's going to start tomorrow and go through, as Betsy and I were saying, all the way through next week at this point. You are just going to love this forecast. So let's dive into the details. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Tonight, temperatures will fall flat near freezing. As you get inland, we'll be in the mid to upper 30s lakeshore. Those clouds will begin to clear. A couple lake effect clouds tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we are wall-to-wall sunshine by the afternoon. Notice the wind out of the south and the west. That'll help our temperatures to go from the 40s today to the low to mid 50s tomorrow. Should be a great afternoon. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as gusty as where we've been. And then how about this on Wednesday? We start in the 40s, wall-to-wall sunshine again, and temperatures in the afternoon low 60s. How about that? Universal Winters Direct 7-day forecast. I've got the greetings from San Diego on there because we're going to jump into the 60s to near 70 by the weekend. There is not a chance of rain in sight over the next 7 days. This is the weather that we need after what we experienced yesterday around here with that sharp change in a weather pattern.
I can do San Diego. I really can. I like that forecast.
Me too.
Let's carry that all the way through the month of November. All right, let's get on that.
All right, man, we are looking forward to the
Deal.
dad joke coming up, too. I can't wait to hear what that would be.
I've got it.
All right, everybody. Well, it's warming up in the week ahead, but now we're getting into the cold weather season, and that's really creeping in. You know it's going to happen. So winter coats are still top of mind, but for many kids across Northeast Ohio, there's no winter coat in their closet. That's where Coats for Kids comes in. The goal is to get a coat to every child that needs one, and starting today, you can help. Just drop a new or gently used coat into a bin at area malls or at a participating business. We have a list of those businesses and more about Coats for Kids at WKYC.com. Such a great organization and does wonderful things here in Northeast Ohio. Certainly need that. Well, coming up for us here, it's now 5:20. I got to tell you, friends, curtain closed. The medical situation that forced a Dancing with the Stars contestant out of the ballroom.
And worth the watch, how a well-placed statue saved a derailed train from danger. You've got to see this story to believe it. I saw it, Betsy, and frankly, I still don't believe it.
That looks like a movie set.
It's pretty crazy. Beyonce opens up about parenting during the pandemic, plus a big scare for a Dancing with the Stars contestant. Kiara Cotton has all the details in our Daily Pop Break.
The show must go on. Unfortunately for Dancing with the Stars contestant Jeannie Mai, the curtains have closed. The 41-year-old had to withdraw from the show's 29th season after an unexpected health diagnosis required immediate surgery. In a statement released this morning, the show wished Jeannie a speedy recovery, saying, "She has inspired us all, along with millions of fans, with her energy and dedication. We wish her the best of luck." Trick or treat. Halloween may be over, but this news is definitely a treat. Over the weekend, model Gigi Hadid shared a family photo featuring boyfriend Zayn Malik and their newborn baby girl for the first time. The couple is keeping things private, so a digital Hulk sticker was placed over the baby's face, and there's still no word on the baby girl's name. And speaking of parenting, Beyonce is yet again showing us just how relatable she is. In an interview with British Vogue, the Black is King singer opened up about how the pandemic and other realities have impacted her parenting. In the article, she says, "My best advice is to love them harder than ever. I let my children know that they are never too young to contribute to changing the world. I never underestimate their thoughts and feelings." Beyonce has 3 children with rapper and mogul Sean Jay-Z Carter. The coronavirus pandemic has impacted us all, even Beyonce. So, if nothing else, be kind to yourself. We're all taking everything one day at a time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kiara. Well, our Worth the Watch today is wild. A train saved from disaster by a whale sculpture. You can't make this up. This happened in the Netherlands. A Dutch metro train derailed, and as it was about to go off the edge of a bridge, it landed on the whale's tail. That is a good catch, but man, that had to be scary for those folks.
What's so crazy about this story, Betsy, is it literally looks like the whole thing was designed to catch a train.
Right.
And it was placed in the exact location. I don't think you could have planned it any better.
I don't think it could either, and I'm sure those people are very, very, very enthusiastic supporters of art in their community now.
Imagine that one-line story. Yeah, I was in a train wreck once, but a whale saved my life.
A whale saved my life.
Okay.
Save the whales. They save lives. All right, well, make sure your vote counts. It is so important to get out and vote. Coming up, we have 3 things that you need to know if you haven't yet gotten your vote out.
And here's a dilemma for a lot of us. Buy now or wait until later. Because, Betsy, we are just more than 50 days to Christmas. So the shopping days are ticking down. We're going to tell you on our Money Monday what you should buy now and what you should put off for a little while.
And a royal secret. What we've learned about Prince William's battle with coronavirus.
That was a secret.
That's coming up. Totally.
Didn't hear anything about it.
Now you will.
Yeah, why are you calling me? Were you calling me? Yeah, I hear you. Why is Monique calling me? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Like thousands of other Ohioans, I voted absentee this year. Here's what you need to know about checking your ballot if you don't know if your ballot was counted.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And welcome back to What's New at 5:30. Bets, we don't get a victory Monday for the Browns. It's a little disappointing. They looked lifeless yesterday.
Yeah.
At First Energy Stadium. They had no, which is crazy because the Sunday before against the Bengals was one of the most passionate games I've seen that team play in so long. But 5-3 as they hit the bye, and now they have a week to try to get healthy. Hope everyone's having a great Monday with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford.
Yes, and Monday, it is Election Eve. That's what everybody is focusing on right now. It's your last chance for early in-person voting today. Guess what? That closed at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The Board of Elections sent out a release. There were 53,356 Cuyahoga County registered voters who voted in person early. So that's why the lines have been so long. But it's all about the vote, getting out the vote, and that, of course, is our top talker today. We know you have plenty of questions about how this voting will go on tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. This is really the only time that it's been this crazy, a pandemic, and we're trying to hold an election, especially when it comes to absentee ballots. As we near the 11th hour now to get those in, many of you have questions. We know that. Monica Robbins joins us now to answer 3 burning questions on the minds of all voters. Monica, hello to you. Let's start with, how do you know if your ballot has been received? Is there a way to track it?
Yeah, absolutely, because like thousands of other Ohioans, I voted absentee this year. And of course, I was late. I didn't mail my ballot in until Thursday, so I wanted to make sure it was received. So watch this. Here's what you need to do.
Go to voteohio.gov. When you hit that page, the middle column is for absentee ballots. Click Track Your Ballot. I chose the clickable map and clicked on my home county. Then just enter your last name and birth date. When your name pops up, click on it, and then pick the November 3rd, 2020 election. If your ballot has been mailed and received by the Board of Elections, it will tell you. I put mine in the mail at the post office on Thursday. It was accepted for counting on Friday.
All right, so the next question, are those absentee ballots ever lost or not counted? Yes, thousands of absentee ballots each year are not counted because voters do not return them on time. Complete the ballot or that identification envelope properly, or sign the identification envelope. So if you forgot to send it in or you lost it, you can vote tomorrow at your local polling place. However, under Ohio law, you're going to have to cast a provisional ballot. All right, here's another thing you need to know. What if you made a mistake on that absentee ballot? Will it still count? So if you did forget to fill it out or sign identification envelope, the County Board of Elections will send you a form to fix it, but you must return it within 7 days of the election for your vote to count. So if the post office is closed, you got to drive your ballot to the County Board of Elections to drop it off by 7:30 tomorrow night. Of course, that is what time the elections close. And remember, if you're going to vote in person tomorrow, you got to wear a mask too.
Absolutely. All right, Monica, great information. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you want complete details of all of our election coverage plans on air and on WKYC.com and our app, including our live digital show tomorrow night, make sure to check out our voter guide. Text the word VOTE to 216-344-3300, and we will send you that voter guide directly to your phone.
And our buddy Russ Mitchell is back with us for another look at some of the other top stories making news today. Hi there, Russ.
Hey there again, Betsy. President Trump answering a chant of "Fire Fauci" during a rally yesterday with a hint that he may do just that.
Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election. I appreciate the advice. I appreciate it.
President Trump telling the crowd that the nation's top infectious disease expert has been, quote, wrong a lot, but is a nice guy, end quote. He also promised that a vaccine is near that will end the pandemic. However, Dr. Fauci says the country is still in for a, quote, whole lot of hurt, end quote. A 26-year-old Menor man is dead after a tree fell on his pickup truck yesterday. Police say Valentino Panic was driving east on Lakeshore Boulevard when the wind brought a large tree down, hitting 2 vehicles. Valentino was pronounced dead at the scene. The man in the other pickup truck did survive. And new reports reveal that Prince William contracted COVID-19 in April and kept his diagnosis private to keep from alarming the nation. No clear indicator for when the prince was infected, but the Sun News broke that story and reports that the prince took 7 days off from video and phone calls from April 9th to April 16th. No comments from the palace.
And of course, that country is facing lockdowns again later this week. The one-month lockdown starts on Thursday.
Till December 2nd, yes.
A hard stretch for them. All right, Russ, we'll see you again coming up 25 minutes or so.
See you soon.
Matters most.
Well, you may remember a few months ago, 3 News reporter Lindsey Buckingham had a terrific piece about residents in assisted living needing some kind of contact. So we help some of them make connections the old-fashioned way, pen pals. It gives them something to look forward to, whether it's receiving or writing a letter to a new friend. Here's Lindsey now with 2 new residents who want to hear from you.
A few months ago, we made friends with the wonderful residents at Montefiore of Menora Park who were looking for some pen pals.
I'm direct from Paris. And I like to talk a lot of trash.
The response? Well, it was amazing.
We've gotten almost 100 we've seen from all over the world.
So we went back, meeting 2 more special souls who are up for some good conversation.
If you don't mind my asking, how old are you, Charlotte?
I'm 93.
You are not 93.
Well, the last time I looked, I was.
You don't look it at all.
How are your eyes?
They're wonderful.
Charlotte, a loving person with a passion for helping others.
I worked for 25 years with children who had learning differences. It was very gratifying work.
She has a lot to offer someone on paper. Literally, Charlotte is an author.
I have written a children's book. I enjoy homophones, words that sound the same but have different meanings. A is for ants, wee tiny bugs. It's also for ants who like to give hugs.
That's so cute. What a very easy and fun way for kids to learn. Charlotte, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure too. Thank you.
Ready for science class? This 96-year-old whiz has you covered.
I taught mostly chemistry, second-year chemistry.
How long did you teach, Sam?
30 years.
Sam also spent many years volunteering at schools.
I started doing little science-y demonstrations for the elementary kids, and I just loved that.
You must really love children.
I do indeed.
But we wanted to see Sam's science expertise ourselves. Check this out.
I got interested in fibers. The fiber is almost invisible. Whoop. And this will go spinning for a long time. It's slowing down, and I'll let it speak for itself.
How did you make that?
With curiosity, and I got this fiber from some little electric cable.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I feel like I'm going to leave here today with a higher IQ because of you.
Calling all scientists, Sam may be the perfect pen pal.
It is a pleasure to have been interviewed. Say aye and goodbye.
Lindsey Buckingham, 3 News.
Wow, Lindsey, terrific story. We try to tell positive stories here on What's New. I think that's among my favorites in the almost year we've been doing this show. Charlotte and Sam, you'd make great pen pals, and hopefully, if you're out there watching and you'd like to write and receive a letter, you can find it in your heart and in your day planner for a little extra time. We have their names and addresses on our website, WKYC.com. Trust me when I tell you, it really does make a difference. Lindsey, thanks. Love that story. Next on What's New, don't wait for Black Friday. We're going to tell you what to buy even before the Friday after Thanksgiving.
And Brown's Trade Talk, period. That is big enough to have its own segment coming up. It's what a lot of folks are keeping an eye on, certainly, and they're clicking on it here in Cleveland. And Matt, we, of course, need to know what's going on outside.
Hi there, Betsy. We've got some cloud cover working back through the area here this evening, but this isn't going to produce anywhere near the weather we saw 24 hours ago. In fact, that big warm-up we've been alluding to, it'll be here before we know it. We'll detail those numbers and your Election Day forecast coming up. I got you. You got me?
I feel like if I hold my little hand right up next to my ear, like so, I can hear the people chanting, "We want a dad joke. We want a dad joke."
Yeah, so here's the deal, Betsy. If I were to give it to everyone up front, they would do what they normally do and tune out the forecast. So we're going to give it right after that 7-day, so you have to stay tuned.
It's going to be sunny and 60s all week. Back to you, Matt.
All right, let's get to it. No, I'm telling you, it's really not that good, but it was good enough for me to write it down. So
that is a good one.
Bring that. I would like to do it. Can I do a daily segment with dad jokes? Because there are so many good ones out there.
We need to make that a thing.
I think so too. That's a new thing we just started. All right, let's talk weather first briefly, because we've still got a little period of active weather really tonight and going into tomorrow morning, and it comes via the wind, which continues to be gusty. We've got a wind advisory for a very small portion of the area, but it affects a lot of you, Lake County and areas of Lakeshore, Ashtabula County. The wind has actually been picking up over the last hour or so. You can see some of the gusts in yellow, 20, 30 miles per hour, nothing compared to yesterday, but still pretty gusty. This is all because we've got an area of low pressure off to our north. That squeeze play is on. You can see a lot of that moisture out in Ashtabula County, none of that really reaching the ground. You have to get a little bit further off towards the east. This area of low pressure is going to swing by through areas in New England, bringing them in accumulating snow overnight tonight. For us, we've just got the clouds and the wind kind of whipping up once again. But the bigger story is this warmer weather pattern off towards the west. You can see the warmth building in the Plain States. So we've got temps in the 40s now, but that will be replaced over the upcoming days with 50s and even 60s, and yes, even 70s as they continue to build out in the central and northern plains. So let's take you national to Zymart hour by hour with that forecast. We're down into the 30s, maybe some upper 20s in spots tonight. I think most of us will hold in the 30s, especially lakeside, as that wind continues out of the south. Tomorrow we'll wake up to a few lake effect clouds left over. Otherwise, we're sunny from Worcester to Akron back towards Sandusky, and that's the way we'll finish our Tuesday. Sunshine abounds with temperatures in the low low, even mid-50s. So it will be markedly warmer tomorrow. Reason why, the wind shift. It'll be shifting around to the southwest, and boy, will it be a warmer wind compared to where we've been. The big pattern over the next 10 days looks like this. A big ridge builds into the area, that ridge you see out in the Central Plains, and it's got some staying power, folks. Look at this. We're all in the weekend and the next week, and we've still got that ridge in place. That will bring us our warmth, and again, it's got some staying power to it. So Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, 55 tomorrow. We're into the 60s with sunshine later this week, and could we do 70 this weekend? Greetings from San Diego. That is what it will feel like around here. All right, the moment that I think only I have been waiting for, the dad joke of the day. What did the DJ say to the vegetable farmer? This is so good.
I don't know.
No idea? All right. Let us turn up the beat.
Oh,
isn't that good?
Let us
It's
turn
3
up the
vegetables.
beat. That's clever.
That is pretty good.
That's
So
a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the baby agrees.
The baby loves it.
No, he's unhappy right now, just like every viewer.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
I think we do need to have a dad joke segment, though.
I agree. Maybe, instead of a daily thing, we need Dad Joke of the Week on Friday. Oh, you're not on Friday. Thursdays, Dad Joke of the Week. That could work.
Given
Mondays.
the forecast, I can fit him in every day this week, trust me.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. All right, as the calendar flips to November, the countdown is on now for holiday shopping. 51 days and counting to Christmas. Hard to believe. Normally, people wait until Black Friday or Cyber Monday to really get into that shopping swing. But in today's Money Monday, we say, why wait?
Consumer investigator Danielle Serino has what's new with the deals to grab this month and what you may want to wait on.
If it seems like there's a sale almost every day, you'd be right. COVID's taken a toll on retail, and stores need to clear their shelves. So it's a buyer's market, although it doesn't look like this anymore.
It's really important to pay attention to all the deals throughout the fourth quarter. One big thing to focus in on is Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. That's a gimme, but you want to keep in mind that now you have big box retailers like Target, Walmart, Best Buy that are kind of teasing this out.
And some of the highlights for November will be on beauty products, especially those gift with purchase deals from cosmetic companies and department stores.
You spend a certain amount and then you get a free little gift, kind of like a makeup purse, makeup bag, and it's got a bunch of free items. Mascara, moisturizer, you don't have to buy that, separately. It's like you pretty much have enough to last for a bit.
Also on sale in November, everything Halloween, from candy to costumes and decor, including pumpkins. And speaking of pumpkins, there are deals on seasonal foods and baking ingredients, especially in the beginning of the month before the cooking rush starts.
Grocery stores will have those really good loss leaders, like in the front of the store. That's a great time to stock up. You can use a coupon too.
And to do the actual dirty work, cookware's on sale as well this month, although the best deals are after the holiday.
So it might not quite be in time to help you prepare for Thanksgiving, but after the fact, maybe preparing for a bigger holiday meal. That's certainly something you're going to want to keep an eye on.
Now, 2 of the items you shouldn't buy in November, candles and bath products. Bath & Body Works has 2 big sales in December on all those products with deals up to 75% off. Finally, you should also wait on jewelry. January brings the biggest savings in the lead up to Valentine's Day. But no matter what you buy or when, with so many sales these days,
I never pay full price. I always find that coupon or that code. It's out there.
Coupon Cabin is a great place to look for deals every day. They also have a browser extension which will show you sales on other sites where you're shopping. Plus, they offer up to 20% cash back on purchases. I'm Danielle Serino, 3 News.
I always feel like I just am looking for the price that I think is fair. You know what I mean? And it never comes around.
Wouldn't that be fun shopping? I know that you're asking $125, but I think it's worth $50. Will you take $50?
Xbox is $400, but I think
insane.
$100 is fine.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bets. I'm waiting for the store that has, it's just, you come in and you make an offer. And, you don't buy it if you come to an agreement. You just walk out the door and look somewhere else.
I have one more thing for everybody. If you are going to be using coupons or apps on your phone, please have them open before you get to the register.
Yes.
I am guilty of this too. So believe me, I'm preaching to the choir. But if you have it open, at least it's easier to find the stuff rather than trying to log in and then search. Yeah. Have it all set and ready to go.
It's like being behind someone who can't find their checkbook.
That happens too.
Being behind someone that still uses a checkbook.
That's a good call. All right, it's next. The trade deadline. What the Browns need and who could go.
Safety. Safety.
What?
And Show Us Something Good features an NFL legend scoring some points off the field. He helps a stranger in need. It's a really cool story, and we'll share it with you coming up.
Yes, I am. Yes, that is all true. I'm coming right over. All true. You are on top of it. I'll be standing there in 1 second. Yes. Yes. Jay also mentioned Sendejo for safety. That is on the list too.
All right, everybody, it's time now to see what is clicking in Cleveland. And for that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. And Steph, the armchair quarterbacks of Northeast Ohio are still chatting about our Brownies.
Yes, they are, Betsy, and I will tell you, we are moving on from that loss yesterday against the Raiders because tomorrow's a big day. It's the NFL trade deadline, and the Browns could make some moves. Here is what to watch for. The Browns could trade away tight end David Njoku. Now, Njoku reportedly requested a trade over the summer, and he's behind Austin Hooper and Harrison Bryant on the depth chart. Another one to watch, defensive end Olivier Vernon. He just had his first 2 sacks of the season against the Las Vegas Raiders. And safety Carl Joseph. He got off to a strong start this season, but a hamstring injury has really put a wrench in his role with the Browns. Now, as for where the Browns could add players, possibly at wide receiver with Odell Beckham Jr. out for the season, also at defensive end, especially if they trade away Vernon, and at quarterback with the unknown of when Greedy Williams will return from his preseason injury. Also, I know Jay mentioned Andrew Sendejo at safety. That's also on the list. You can read more about possible trades from Ben Axelrod on WKYC.com. Now, over the weekend, Sunday was our first snowfall of the season for Northeast Ohio, and meteorologist Matt Standridge, first snowfall of Northeast Ohio ever. He celebrated by making a teeny tiny snowman. I think he used all of the snow in Cleveland to do it, and he posted this on Instagram. He is a great follow on social media. You can follow him on Instagram at Matthew Standridge. And with Election Day tomorrow, we want to know what voting means to you here in Northeast Ohio. We want you to send us your I voted sticker selfies. Here's a few that our team here posted on WKYC. There's Laura Queso. You see Kiara Cotton. There's mine that I posted after I tracked my absentee ballot right there. Another thing that we want from you, we want your stories about what voting means to you. So please share those with us. You can text it to 216-344-3300. Also send it to us in the Near Me feature on the WKYC app. Betsy, tomorrow's the last day for voting. We are in the home stretch now.
And even if you don't have one of those nifty I voted stickers, just post a selfie and tell everybody else to go vote, because I didn't get a sticker, but I did vote.
Exactly, that's right.
Awesome stuff. Thanks so much, Steph.
Well, coming up, we're actually going to forgive him for playing for the Steelers after an incredible story. Yes, that's Terry Bradshaw. And yes, he's helping a stranger in need. That story's coming up.
And then new problems, new solutions. We take you to Sandusky for a look at how one of the area's largest companies is keeping employees safe. That's part of our 6 o'clock newscast, What Matters Most.
Hi, hello. Mike Check, Romney Smith. We're outside the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections office. Tomorrow is Election Day.
Yes, I am. Hello, hello. So you got your absentee ballot, set it aside, just realized you forgot to mail it.
Tell me something good. Hey, mic check. 1, 2, 3. The final stretch tonight as early voting ends.
Check 1, 2, 3 for 5. Brandon's microphone. This is what it sounds like to be Brandon from his basement.
And we wrap up your Monday installment of What's New with our Show Us Something Good. Takes place in Texas. Yes, that is NFL legend Terry Bradshaw helping out a stranger in need. Here's the deal. The man's car wouldn't start, and it's raining. So Terry says, pop the hood, I've got some jumper cables.
He said it just like that.
That's how he would have said it. And the stranger obliged, and as soon as he finally successfully starts the car, Terry throws his arms up in the air and yells, touchdown, like a referee. And the best part is a person standing nearby captured the whole thing on video.
I wish they had a little closer shot so you could hear him if he says the same thing that I do when using jumper cables. You know what I'm going to say? Smoke before fire, right? Always the black one first. Smoke before fire. My daddy taught me well.
Cool story. 4 Super Bowl rings, and he's still helping strangers.
That's wonderful.
We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we